Hello everybody, I kind of have a cold, but I'm going to try to power through today. We're going to work on circles, and most specifically, the area and perimeter of circles, okay? Now, before we start, there's a couple terms on a circle that we need to know, okay? The first is the middle of the circle. One sec. Which we call the center, okay? Then if we're looking at any point from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, that's called the radius. Okay, and that could be from anywhere. So if I drew a point from the center to here, it would be the same length as from here to here. That's how a circle is created, that every point is an equal distance from the center. Okay, and if you have a point that goes from one edge of the circle to the other edge through the center, we call that the diameter. Okay, and the diameter is equal to twice the radius. So it's equal to 2 times our radius r. Alrighty? So things that we need to know about the circle. Well, the area of a circle is pretty simple. We take the value of pi, which we should know what that is. That's 3.14159, repeating on infinitely. We take the value of pi times the value of r, which is the radius, and we square r, and we take it times pi. So let's say if our r is 3, that means we have pi times the value of 3 squared. We know 3 squared is 9, so that means our area is going to be equal to 9 times the value of pi. You could write that as 9 pi, or you could actually multiply that out on a calculator. You could do that by clicking 3.14, or even better, if you use one of my calculators, the pi button is right there. So I go 9 times pi, and that gives me about 28.27. Okay? I'm going to be really okay with either. Now, the perimeter of a circle is called the circumference. And that's pretty simple as a formula. There's two different ones. You could do pi times the value of d, which is diameter, or you could do 2 times the value of pi times the value of r, which is radius. Now we know that taking the radius times 2 is the same as the diameter, so these are the same thing. So let's say if the diameter of a circle is 6, that means the radius is 3. So it's either going to be 6 times pi, or it's going to be 2 times pi times 3, which is the same thing as 6 times pi. All right, so let's get to some real problems here. I want you to find the area and perimeter of these two circles. Give that a try. All right, for this top one, the area is going to be 5 squared times the value of pi, which is 25 pi. Or, if I type that into a calculator, would be about 78.5. Okay? And the perimeter, or the circumference, would be the diameter is 10. So that means this would be 10 times pi, or about 31.4. Down here on the bottom, the area of the circle is going to be 64 pi, and the circumference is going to be 8 pi. Whoop, sorry, not 64 pi. I made a very common mistake here. The diameter is 8. That means the radius is 4. So that means this will be 16 pi. That'll stay as 8 because it's the diameter times pi. Okay? Barely caught that one. Okay, try these two and see how it goes. Okay, for the top one, the area should be equal to 16 pi. The circumference should be equal to 8 pi. That's the same as the one we just did. And here, our area should be 36 pi. And our circumference should be 12 pi. If you did those as decimals, that's fine. Just make sure they're multiplied out. Okay, now we got to work with something that It's going to be a little bit different. It's a shape that we're told about, but we're not given. So I'm going to draw the shape. So here's a circle, and it says the radius is 4 centimeters. Alrighty. Well, that means that my diameter is going to be 8. So my area is going to be equal to my radius squared times pi. Whoops. So that's going to be 16 pi. And my circumference will be 8 pi. All you got to do is find the radius and the diameter, and then you're golden. Okay? One more. If we're on a graph here, and it wants us to graph a circle with the center at 2, -2. Well, 2 is here, -2. That's our point right there. And it passes through the point 0, -2. So here's 0, here's -2. And it wants us to find the area and the circumference. Well, the first thing we got to do is we got to find out one important thing about a circle is that every point on the circle will be the same distance away. So that's 2 points away. So I know that right here is 2 points away, here is 2 points away, and here is 2 points away. And this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think I can do it. So our circle will look like that. That actually wasn't too bad. Okay, well, that means the radius is 2 and the diameter is 4. So our area will be 4 pi, and our diameter will be 4 pi. And right here, this circle is the only time you will have your area and your diameter will be the same. Alrighty, the assignment should be posted online.